So I finished my run. I had to change shirts. And even though I changed shirts, I'm still sweaty, but the other one was worse. So now, it's always, always, always important, even though you may not feel like doing it, to do a proper cool down after a run, because you're already warmed up and your adrenaline's going and everything, but it's always good to do a stretch after your run, because when you're running, especially long distance, as it was explained to me, running is a unilateral movement, and so once you stop running, everything kind of stays very kind of one way. Like your body, your hips, your back, it all stays one way. And if you don't stretch it out in different directions, 360 degrees, you're going to get stiff. Your joints are not going to be as loose. And most of all, your back tends to shrink as you're running. So you want to bring it back to its normal length. That's how it was explained to me by a good friend of mine who's a sports therapist. So I usually like to take about 20 minutes to stretch out everything in your body. And since you're already warmed up, then you can do a little bit more static stretching. So to begin with, set my watch. We want to start by slowly just touching your toes. And usually after a run, you'll feel like you can't even reach your toes. Sometimes I feel like, oh my God, I can't even reach your toes. Why? Because the back is all shrunk. And so you want to do it slowly but surely. It'll get there. It'll get there. But you just have to give it time, because your back, your spine is all shrunk in from the pounding of every step that you took during that long run. So you just want to kind of ease into it. Just ease into touching your toes. Just touching your toes. Maybe even just let your body hang loose, like the weight of your head. You can hug yourself almost and let the upper body weight just go all the way down with the help of gravity. And just let it go down as far as it will go. Some people are more flexible than others. I am kind of a halfway there flexible. Some people are more flexible. Some people will be like over here. That's fine. Just let the body weight bring it down. Okay? Now, hold yourself against your knees and bring yourself back up. Again, you don't want to get dizzy, because, blood's going down to your head and you might just kind of lose your sense of balance. Then, the same thing, you want to spread your legs apart, and again, just let yourself go down, all the way down, and let gravity work for you, and letting your head bring itself down. And you can hold the poses for maybe 5 to 10 seconds each. As you're holding yourself down here, now you want to reach with your right arm to your left foot. Right arm to left foot. That way you're stretching the lumbar area, which is just kind of like the bottom of your spine connecting to your butt. And just bring your chest in. Not your head so much, but as your chest. Like, try to make, for you girls, your boob touch your knee. Your aim is for your boob to touch your knee. So, lead with your chest and keeping your legs straight. You should feel stretch in the back of your leg, your hamstring area, and in the bottom of your back. Slowly walk across to your right. Now your left arm, bring it to your right ankle. Same thing. Lead with your boob or your chest, sorry, to your knee. And ease into and just feel whatever stretch. if you should happen to feel any unusual, I don't know, pull, just like abort and pull back and just try again. You should not feel any pinching, anything like that. Just a nice, good kind of stretchy pain, but not any sharp pulling. Okay, now walk to the center and then lean like a side lunge stretch to your left. Again, use your elbow as a stopping point to make sure that you don't go beyond your knee, and also to support yourself. So again, you should be feeling a stretch in your groin area, in the inside of your legs. Okay, make sure you use the elbow as a stopping kind of support point. See if you can look up and then slowly swing to the other side. Again, use your elbow as a stopping support point. Okay? And just feel that stretch. Just kind of either move it around, see where you get the most stretch, where you may need it. You might lean in against it, use your elbow to support yourself. Okay? Or go back. Just kind of like almost massage it around. Okay, now go into the middle. Walk a little bit more inside, your feet inside. And now you're going to do a sumo squat stretch. Oh, and this one's going to be like, at the beginning, it's going to be like, OMG, what in the world? Okay, but once you get there, again, swing around and just kind of massage the movement. This time you can take a little bit longer because this is more of a static type of stretch, not so much dynamic as it was during the warm-up. Here you can take a little bit slower, okay? And then that should really eat both the back area in the lumbar and the groin. Those are the two areas where you kind of feel stiff because you've been running so long in a one-way, one-dimensional movement of running that it gets stiff after you're done running. When the adrenaline goes down, the heart rate goes down, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I'm stiff. Okay, so bring yourself back up. Slowly put your hands on your knees and roll yourself back up slowly so you're not dizzy. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, we're going to go on the floor. And you might want to either use a towel, like a long towel, or maybe some kind of like a long rope of some kind. This is from like, you know, the thingies they use to hold the yoga mats. Anything, a belt, whatever. And you're going to lay on your back. You're going to wrap your towel, your belt, whatever, on your foot. And you're going to lift your leg up straight and pull. Use that belt to help you pull your leg down. And keep your back and your shoulders on the floor at all times. You're not doing this. You're not lifting yourself up to the knee. No, you're going to stay on the floor. Okay? And breathe it out with each breath. Try to bring it down a little bit more, down a little more. Now remember, the leg on the floor needs to stay on the floor. You're not going to kind of elevate it like this. No, it needs to stay on the floor. So it's kind of like opposing motions going on at the same time. So take that 5 breaths, and each breath just bring it down a little bit more and a little bit more. So you should feel a stretch here in the back again. You want to make sure that the hamstring is nice and loosened up after that, all that running. Okay? All right, so now with this same leg that's in the air, you're going to bend the leg, okay? And you're going to take that knee and lay it across you in the opposite direction, okay? Keep that knee in like an L position, 90 degrees, and swing it over to the opposite side. Keep your right shoulder, your opposing shoulder, on the ground. That's key right there. If you can touch the floor, great, but it's going to elevate your shoulder. You want to keep your shoulder always touching the ground, the floor. So, again, static stretches where you're going to kind of massage your back. This is stretching your spine. And so you want to maybe go up and down slowly, gently, and stretch that spine. Okay, you might get a crack here and there, which is good. I usually get my cracks when I'm leaning with my left foot on the other side. So it depends on how your back is. Okay, now take that same leg, bring it back to the center. Okay, bring your leg that's on the floor, bring it up, and your right ankle over your left knee. This is lying pigeon, laying down pigeon. Remember how you did the sitting pigeon? This is lying pigeon. And so this is great also to stretch the butt, the part of the upper hamstring, your back. If you can take your hands and put them up within that little hole between your legs and then grab your knee and then use that. And then you can rock back and forth and that kind of massages your back. Okay? There you go. And just hold it for 5 to 10 seconds. All right. Last move with this leg, the same leg that's here, you also, again, wrap it around with the towel or belt or whatever, and now you're going to swing your leg to your right. And it's going to open up your legs. So you're going to go your right leg, drop it to the right. Again, your left shoulder should be staying on the floor. So some of you might be maybe halfway here, that's fine. And then, but work on getting your leg all the way as far as you can. And that's a good also stretch. It's kind of a little bit harder. I've been doing this, took me about 10, 15 years to actually get down here. So, but it's a very good stretch. So you're kind of covering all sides. You're covering your left, you're in the middle, and your right. Okay? All right, now working on the other leg. On the other leg, you have your left leg, wrap it around with your belt. 5 deep breaths. With each breath, you pull a little bit lower. Keep your right leg on the floor. Shoulders on the floor, back on the floor, neck on the floor. You should not feel any strain on your neck at all. This is just your leg, and you're stretching all the back part of your leg. Okay. Bend the leg 90 degrees. Left leg 90 degrees. Left arm out. The left leg swinging over to the right side. Keeping your left shoulder on the ground as much as you can. Don't elevate your shoulder like this to try to reach the floor. No, you don't really have to reach the floor. You just have to keep your leg at a 90-degree bend and just twist your spine and make sure you stretch out that spine. Like I said, you might get a crack, which is good. There, mine just did. It relieves the pressure and tightness of the back. Keep your leg at a 90 degree. Bring the leg back to the center. Bring the other leg up. Bend. Get your left ankle over your right knee. And then hug that right knee that you're bending and bring it against you. And it's opposing forces. You're bringing in the right knee into you while you're pushing away with your left leg, with your left ankle pushing against your right knee. They're kind of opposing forces. Okay? And then while you're here, you can also rock back and forth gently to massage your back. You'll find out that when you lean towards one side, it gets tighter. That means that it's getting a bigger stretch. Like I'm leaning to my right side and I'm getting a bigger stretch on my butt area. You come back to the center. All right. Now put your legs down, bring your left leg up. Okay. Wrap it with your belt again. Right arm out on the ground, and then drop your left leg down as far as you can. Make sure to keep your right shoulder on the ground. You don't have to absolutely touch the floor. It's just as far as you can take it. And so you're making your legs look like a 90-degree kind of like drawing, you know. The right leg's shooting straight down while your left leg is 90 degrees from it or perpendicular to it. Okay? Make sure that throughout this whole time, you're always breathing. Don't hold your breath. All right, bring your left leg up and then back down again. Grab both knees. Hug your knees. Hug your knees. Okay? You're going to flip over. Okay? We're almost done. You're going to do child's pose. This one's great because it stretches your lower back, your lumbar area again. So child's pose is basically your arms are in the front and you want to keep your butt try to reach your feet. You should feel a stretch in your arms, in your deltoid, like, what are they called? Your shoulder area. Okay. Now go into a downward dog position, and you're going to stretch your calves. You're going to hold each calf to like 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you switch to the other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then both together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you're in this downward dog position, it's always good to make sure that your head is between your shoulders, in between. Not so much in front, not super in the back, but in between your shoulders. Okay? Walk a little bit to the front, and then it's kind of like a skiing pose, like you're going downhill on the ski, but you're actually stretching your shins. So you want to keep your feet completely flat, your heel flat on the floor, and then just kind of see if you can sit there, and you should feel a stretch right here in the shins. You can go up and down just to relieve yourself, and then go back down again. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And one more time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? Now, hands on your knees and roll yourself up. Don't get dizzy. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Now that you've done all the stretching and kind of like strengthening and lengthening your muscles, try to touch your feet again. And you feel that it's like, oh, nice. It's nice and lengthened again, and it's easier and not as painful as when you ended your run. And that's the whole purpose of doing the stretching. Okay, we're going back to the quad stretch. Grab your leg, hold on to something. Okay, same thing, variations of having remember not to flail your knees. Okay, your knees should go straight down. If you have balance, try to grab with both hands, and that way you can stretch your chest out. Okay, bring it over, sitting pigeon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then back for the IT bend. Okay, same thing on the other side. Grab, remember not to flail your knee. Knee should be completely straight down, and you should be in a straight line. A straight line. Not like this, not like this. Straight line. Okay? And if you can hold them with both arms, work on some balance there, and get a stretch on your chest. Swing it over to your knee for your pigeon. Get that nice and stretched out. And then the IT back. It's usually slower. And the other side. The other one that I forgot to mention is the stretch. It's really good to stretch out this whole area of the middle part of your body, which is so important, is that you can get them on the knees. Bring one foot forward, okay? Bring your arms up, and then lean in into your knee with your arms up. Back straight, okay? And that'll stretch out your back, your thighs, your quads. It's almost like opening up the middle area of between your legs. Okay, and then in that same position, bring your arms down and bring them forward. Now you're stretching out your hamstrings. You're like bowing down, almost like a bow. Keep your right leg straight, okay? And point your toes, and then back up again, and lean into your knee. Same thing on the other side. Arms up, left foot forward, lean into the knee, and as always, feel whatever it is that you're doing. Kind of really be connected to what you're doing. And if you need to like move a little bit to the left, move it to the right, slowly, and then start feeling that stretch. And then you can tell if you need to go a little bit further, adjust, whatever you need to do. Okay, now bring your arms down, straighten out your front leg, bow down. Bow down. Again, if you feel any sharpness, any weird type of feeling in your stretches that should not be there, seriously abort. abort, and just try it again. Pull out of that position and just try it again. Sometimes I get cramps, and so I'll just quickly have to just get out of that position and just try it again. And bring your arms back up and lean in. carefully bring yourself back up. Hands on knees, roll up. Make sure you don't get dizzy. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay. That was it. That's pretty much a typical stretching routine. I try to cover pretty much all the areas in the body. It doesn't have to be a whole yoga session, although a full yoga session would not be a bad idea, just that on recovery days. It really helps with lengthening your muscles, not be so tight, not so stiff, and you become more graceful in your movements. I am still learning. Every day I'm learning something new. So just I could keep going in many different positions and variations, but that's basically the gist of it. If anybody wants to have any questions or any different ideas, let me know. I'll be glad to help you. This is pretty neat for me to do this. When you guys ask me to tape record or whatever video this, I was kind of hesitant because I've never done this, but this is really cool. I love doing this type of things. It's kind of like my hobby, and so if I could be of any help to anybody, let me know. Alrighty, have an awesome day. Bye.